Oh, here we are. Yeah, straight in. Let's get going. Keith and Dan, it's so long since I've seen you. Since my Market Garden stream of earlier, which may well continue after this. Well, yeah. So, you know what? I might put this on in the background on my telly.
Here we are.
I mean, I've watched this twice.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Well, because I fell asleep the first time. Anyway, like I said, it's your turn to do the story breakdown this week.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. So
I have stills ready for you, my friend.
Cool. Well, let me.
I had to take a shower, after making them stills.
Took 2 showers. It's like I'd be quite happy if like an episode sort of really blew me away. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. I mean, okay. I mean, there's really not much to say about this. The girls switch places.
Yes.
One potentially starts maybe becoming good. The other one potentially maybe starts becoming evil. Neither of which are plausible. Neither of which makes sense. Sol knew it was May all along. We knew Sol knew it was May all along. The gerbil sniffed the Sith farts.
I think that at first he didn't know, and then the gerbil gave it away.
Well, that's possible, but if he didn't know, he's a shit Jedi, then, isn't he? Because he would be able to sense it. So, according to the rules of law, which mean nothing, of course, he would be able to sense it. Also, secondly, May had feelings for somebody. I don't believe she would suddenly, start considering becoming evil, even if the guy went, well, what did you think was going to happen with that girl you fancied? Do you think you were going to run off with her? No. What, just because he says so? I mean, I don't know. It's just proper shit, really, isn't it? It's just.
We should go in chronological order as I made these stills.
All right, okay. So we'll go chronological order. So she wakes up. She wakes up. This is Oshi or Osha or Ocean or whatever. She wakes up.
She's been healed.
She's on. We realize later that because I think actually we realize at the beginning it's like an unknown planet, doesn't it? Say an unknown planet.
It actually says unknown planet.
Yeah, unknown planet. Breaking the law of show don't tell immediately. Because she could have said, "Where are we? This doesn't feel like Ushu or Koshu or whatever the other place. Kofor."
There's the $180 million budget right there. That's CGI.
Yeah, is that funny kind of like elephant turd thing that lives on the beach?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh yeah, like the snootle thing.
Yep.
We'll call it a rock snootle because it looks like a rock with an elephant's trunk.
I'll give whoever credit who did this, Lance. That shot's a nice shot. That's what I took it for.
Yeah, I mean,
I won't debate that. It's a good shot.
That's a good mix of real location and stuff inserted. I'm gonna tell you now that the rock on the left might be a tiny rock with a load of stuff added to it, or it might not be there at all. I think there's probably a tiny rock there.
Yeah,
it's added to it. The one on the right, part of it could be real with the spaceship added, or the whole thing could be CGI. Difficult to tell.
Yes, another wide shot.
This is a real location, which is nice.
Yeah, they do like 25 wide shots this entire episode.
Hang on a second. Go back a shot a second.
Sure.
Right. Go. Okay. Change. Right. That's supposed to be the same rock, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Right here. Yep.
Yeah. That's bollocks. Go back again.
Yeah.
Look how much taller it is at the top. Yep. Right. Now go back. What's happened there? What's happened to the top of it? Has it fallen off?
Oh boy.
Because if you go back to the previous one, you can't argue, well, hang on, you're not looking at it from the right perspective. There's a lower section with a bit that you can't see.
Yeah.
Well, no. That's total bullshit. Go. The top of that's missing. So that shot does not match up.
Yeah, because that wide shot here is because she's sitting right there in the rocks.
Yeah, that's her there.
Yeah.
That's her there.
Right there.
And so this is that rock. This should be higher. The pinnacle of this is way taller. You can see here.
Yep.
How thin it is and how tall it goes from the main body. Cut back. The top part of that is missing. Oh dear.
Oh boy.
That's you know, they should sort of be able to spot that, shouldn't they? That's pretty terrible. Either the top part of that is missing, or they made the other perspective too tall.
Yeah. I'll pull up in a second. So for the hell of it, Disney Plus.
So
on to the next one. Oh, boy, look right there, Lance. Oh, there's the rock again. Yeah, it's the same rock at a different angle. So exact same shot again, because there's the big rock and the docking of the ship. So this is the third shot in a row we're seeing the same rock, and that looks even different than the previous two shots. Like, look at the groove right there to this up there.
Yeah.
Now look at this. Look, there it is again.
Ah, right. So now they're saying that there's one in front that's separate from those two. Okay, hang on. Go back to the first one. Right. So, all right. Now I kind of see, but it still looks wrong.
Yeah.
So because this gap from here to here, that doesn't look right in the first one. If you look at it, and then when you get to that reverse, no, back one. That here, I don't know, doesn't feel right. Well,
yeah.
All right, we're niggling, so let's move.
Unknown planet. Look, more
let's
CGI.
not get into rock chimney minutia.
More expensive CGI.
These things were kind of like, I kind of liked them because I like the way they look like rocks, but they obviously use their snoodle things to turn over rocks and eat like little fleas on the beach and whatnot.
Yeah, let's go with that. And again, they keep showing it.
Oh, this is fine. I mean, what did he do? Walk on water to get over to the land there?
Don't ask questions.
Yeah, don't ask questions. Right.
It's true.
I probably skipped on. There's a little rock over there.
There's no walkway. Like,
maybe on low tide. Maybe on low tide you can.
Even that.
Maybe on low. On low tide.
There to. Okay.
You got rocks here. Look, so maybe there's like a causeway.
We're back
meanwhile, on Kofar.
Some decent CG on the ship.
Yeah, I mean some of the effects are good. Some of it's a bit naff. It's fine. He's trying to send that code. He's got poor signal reception because he's with Virgin and Virgin holophones don't have good reception in the outer rim.
Yeah, that's all he gets out. My whole team is dead.
Yeah.
Important information to know. Yeah, and she wakes up and she's in the ship and she's menacingly walking towards him, but then him, the hero of the episode, Lance, he sniffs her. She smells different.
Yeah. What's his gerbil face or whatever he's called? I don't
Basil.
really know because there's the bare minimum of introduction with him. He's not really interacted with anyone to any great degree. So
his name is Basil.
That's right. That's right. Like Basil Brush.
Basil the gerbil. But
yeah, because we did say that he was a bit like Basil Brush.
And it's funny, like, so she goes to see Saul with a knife in her hand. So that
I saw that.
You want to kill him, right? Isn't that the point of having a knife ready?
Yeah, well, no, that was always part of her mission, was to take this Jedi out.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
And he's just basically he tells her that he's gonna go back and check the comms, and to his credit, the actor he has a good scene where he's pissed off.
Fine. I don't mind him. I just think again in terms of the plot, we've established she's got conflict going on, but now you've got her drawing the knife, so we've established she's going to try and kill him.
Yeah.
He hasn't picked up on it, or if he has, he's not giving it away. So he goes, I'm going to go and check the comms. So as soon as he went to go down the ladder, she just could have put it straight in his skull. I mean, this is the sort of nonsensical stuff in this show that's like, okay, you've committed to an action. That person would try to carry out that action. They're not going to be put off by you saying, I'm going to go and boost the signal on the quantum tube or whatever.
Yeah. I found it funny, Lance, how 2 shots back was the gerbil hiding and sniffing, and then when Saul comes there, it's the exact same shot. Like, look, and now he's sniffing again in the air.
Right.
Why? Just at this point, you're recycling just different angles of the exact same scene. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
I like the interior of the ship.
Yeah.
But interior of ship does not make for a great movie on its own.
Well, apparently he's smart enough to understand. You take the Pip boy there and plug him in and charge him, because that's OSHA's Pip. Okay. He understood that much with the instructions on the wall.
I have a question when we get to the naked swimming scene. Also, by the way, I mean, how many of these little miniature dagger things does this girl have? But right, so when we get to this scene, which is, this scene is.
I mean, I said again, I have to just. That's a in terms of screensavers, that will be a good screensaver.
Oh, it's a nice shot, nice location, nicely photographed. Give it all of that.
That's beautiful water. Give him that.
Yeah, I feel like that's got to been shot in a Mediterranean. That's unlikely to be the UK. I'm just going to tell you now.
Yeah.
So at first, right, she pulls out one of those miniature knife things.
Yes.
Now, how come she's now got a miniature knife thing? Because surely the other girl would have taken all the weapons, certainly because she needs them. So how come she's now got a miniature knife thing? And does she even know how to use those? Is she proficient in those? Then she thinks, okay, well, I'll pick up the lightsaber because the lightsaber's there. Yeah. By the way, you broke your lightsaber, you said?
Yeah, so I have to buy a new one, fortunately.
Then we have naked swimming scene.
Yeah, she holds it.
She does her thing with the stance. He's like, oh yeah, assume you didn't keep your own saber, and this is all part of the kind of, hey, I'm going to teach you to be evil.
Yeah, I have to question, if he gets into Lance, he's kind of rubbing himself like this, and shouldn't he have soap, maybe, if he's taking a bath?
Yeah, I mean, why doesn't she just chop his wiener off with the lightsaber? That would have been a good sequence.
Yeah.
You will not propagate evil again.
He's going to put his clothes back on.
Yeah, if you're not going to join me, I mean, that all sounded a bit sort of weird. And I don't know, man. This actor's okay. I don't mind him, but I don't buy him in being this powerful, sort of super cool, highly trained Sith, even though he's technically not a Sith, but he's saying he is a Sith, even though they're not around. Well, I guess maybe everybody's going to die. So, so
I think we're just used to good bad guys like Vader and Palpatine. You hear about like Darth Sidious or it's Palpatine, but Darth Plagueis the Wise. And whenever you hear about Sith, you see like, they have like the yellow eyes and like their skin sometimes is decrepit and they're just powerful, menacing figures. And this guy is so like, he's so casual and cool.
I mean, maybe that's part of the point, and maybe that's part of his seduction routine. And there's nothing wrong with doing something different. And if lots of the other shit elements were not shit, I could see this working, but it doesn't work in the context of all the things that they're doing with the twins, which are not believable, their choices, which are not believable. I wish the actress was playing them much markedly different from one another.
Yeah,
I wish they even had slightly different voices, slightly different accents, because if you grow up on different sides of the universe, or if you grow up in two different parts of the country, do you know what? You don't have the same accent, because not everybody sounds the same.
Exactly.
So, I feel like I should have a bigger hat on, because I've got a cowboy hat, but it's in the shed.
That was kind of the joke when we watched that Jean-Claude Van Damme film, Double Impact. It's like, okay, well, one son is raised in Hong Kong, one son is raised in France. So one son should speak French, one son should be speaking Japanese or Chinese because he's raised in that demographic.
Yeah, is that what they did? I can't remember.
No, yeah, but of course, Jean-Claude plays himself, but he both characters sound exactly the same. But if one son was raised in Hong Kong his entire life, he wouldn't be speaking
well,
French.
that's because his acting range is extremely limited.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, let's move on from this scene.
Right,
this as an effect shot was nice.
Yeah.
The ship rejoining, nice shot.
I did like it.
Lego kit of that coming soon. This is the point where I feel he now knows she's not who she says.
Hard to tell.
Well, he's going in for the hug. I think he's doing a force search.
Well, see, I think right here, this is when the gerbil, he cut off the power. That's, and then like when he tells her to go check on it, that's when he sneaks in and tells Soul.
Right.
Could be wrong, but
this was, by the way, it was around here that I fell asleep when I watched it the first time. Because when I watched it the second time, I think I fell asleep just after green bald-headed bad actress lady. So
yeah.
I'm gonna talk about that in a sec when we get to that scene. Okay, let's move on.
What make you wonder too, Lance, that close? Remember, she has a big tattoo on her forehead right there. It's pretty obvious.
Right. Yeah.
That she doesn't have, but okay. It's right there.
But fortunately, there's this big hair fringe thing sort of covering it up.
But we're back to Coruscant.
And nighttime. Okay.
Yeah. I talk about reviews and Jedi.
Absolutely diabolical, terrible acting in this scene.
Yeah. The only thing is talk about the Jedi's being under reviews. I'm not sure what that.
He's all right. This actor's okay. He's okay.
What did Saul say?
But when this bit, when he says, what did he say? There were casualties. How many or who? And
just his team.
He says his whole team.
Yep.
Her reaction in that, I've got the scene on now.
Okay.
And he's called Mog, by the way, this guy. What a name. Mog. I mean, yeah, so he says the connection was faulty, but it sounded like the entire team. Right. So when he says it sounded like the entire team, if you watch what she does now, as an acting coach and as a director, you want your actors to do the bare minimum when you've got even a sort of medium, her shots about this. So you want it all to be behind the eyes and you want it all to be very subtle. And she does this thing where she looks down and then she looks down like that. And then she does this sort of turn to the side and then she moves.
Yeah, just pull them up.
But it's all about what's going on behind the eyes. You can't just do the physical actions and just sort of underplay the scene. You have to be thinking, my God, they're all dead. That has to be in your head because the camera can read you thinking that if you do it right. And these things can be really small and it can be a really small change, right? And she does the absolute bare minimum and there's nothing going on up here. Nothing. From what I can see. And then she does that sort of look and there's small and there's underplaying and there's small and there's like over underplaying.
Yeah.
And I think that she thinks what she's doing is a really brilliant piece of acting, but it's flat and it's boring and it just shows me that she's got no range. There's nothing there. These roles would be fought over in auditions. You would be seeing dozens of people on any other show. Because in the UK, like when one person makes it, and all their mates are like, get me a job. And the reason that all your mates don't get a job is because there are producers above you who say, well, you have a responsibility now. We're giving you money and we want caliber actors of this level. You can maybe bring one new person in. As long as they're good, we'll have to see them. They'll have to go through the same casting process as everyone else. But giving your mate a job like a big acting part in a film or a TV show, is generally considered a bit of a no-no. You might be able to get them a casting, and maybe they're going to win the role on their own merit, but they'll still go up against 20, 30 other people for the role. Yeah. This is a sizable character in a major IP. This role should have been, there should have been 20 or 30 people up for this part. And you can't tell me that this actress was the best person for this role of the people that were available. The simple answer is that they're not. They're the girlfriend / partner, I think wife, in fact. I don't care about people's personal shit, so I don't really look into that. It's just because everybody's told me this.
Yeah,
they're the partner of the person who created the show. So it's quite obvious to me that that is the only reason they're in this show. There's no way this was the best person who auditioned for this role. Therefore, they didn't audition against other people. Therefore, they were given the part carte blanche.
Yeah.
And for the most part in the UK, well, there is a bit of, you know, okay, I'll get you a job. There is a bit of that goes on. For a role of this size on a show, even if you were putting your mate up for this kind of part, they would have had to have fought. They would have fought for it, and they would have got it on their own merit. I interviewed a girl for Dreaming Whilst Black. It's a comedy show that was originally a YouTube stream. Danny, I can't do. Did you co-host that one? I can't remember.
No.
And fantastic actress, fantastic black actress, young. She didn't have a huge number of credits, but she was willing to do the original pilot for this show for like no money or minimum fee. And then they reshot that pilot again, and then it got recommissioned again. So the third round, as a season 1, 6 episodes. And the BBC commissioned it, and they were trying to get the creator to recast her because she was not a big name. And they put loads of people up against her, and she had to go in and re-audition for that role, right? And it was really difficult, and she fought really hard for that part. But because she knew the character and she'd done it twice already, and she is absolutely a phenomenal talent, she got it on her merit, because he was able to turn around and say, you can't tell me any of the other people that we put in the room up against Danny were as good as her. And they weren't. You know, sure, she had her foot in the door already because she was already involved in the project. But even then, they still made her re-audition. This person hasn't got any previous connection to this. It's not like this was done as a web show, first of all. They've just been brought in because their partner is the creator of the show. Here, have a part. Great. You're going to, you know, that's another paycheck for us in our house. You know, I'm getting paid this for the creator. I'm getting paid this for the director. I'm getting paid this for writing it. You're getting paid a role for acting in it. Quid's in. We're taking a big chunk of that budget. You know, I mean, they must have taken 2 to 3 million of it. No, probably that would have been more. Between the two of them, they would have taken probably 5, 6, maybe even 10 mil. You know, so she's terrible, absolutely terrible actress.
Yeah, I'll pull up the scene for you so we can.
Yeah. Let's do it.
We could look at all her glory.
I mean, honestly, if she was really good, I would say so.
Yeah,
because there are some actors in this show that are good. She's not one of them. Yeah, let's share the screen. People in the chat, tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, I paused as soon as he said to they all been slaughtered. Just her facial reaction.
Hang on, why have we? I've lost. What? Oh, sorry, mate. Let me do. There we go.
There you go. Yep. Oh boy, here we go.
Full screen.
Of course, the
entire team.
My God, ants.
She just does that thing and then does that turn. But her whole internal monologue that she's supposed to be doing in that moment, there is nothing there.
That's my skills.
You have to work really hard to make crap this bad. Yeah.
Oh, back to the stills. She's like,
yeah, that's here we go.
But
good to see you, Adrian, by the way. We've got Professor R2 in the
R2.
Yeah. And we got Darth. Just
got the Adam
17 people watching. By the way, if you haven't been on the channel before, welcome. We on the Outcast Creative. This is a supportive channel. I'm very supportive of independent creatives, fellow YouTubers. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. I don't really care about politics. And generally, we keep it positive. And actually, the reason we scheduled these reviews was because I wanted to do fair and constructive reviews of the Acolyte. And I have tried to keep them constructive. But this is so blatantly... they just ignore so many of the blatant fundamentals of writing, narrative, character development, the Star Wars lore, breaking rules, setting up and breaking rules that wouldn't be said, characters doing things that they wouldn't do or say, and this whole thing with these twins it just isn't working. And this whole thing of them switching over roles when one of them had already said, oh, I'm not sure I'm evil now anyway. They'd already kind of played that card earlier. And they're still trying to, now they're trying to tell us that the other one's going to be evil now because she puts on a helmet. So,
yeah, Lance, I purposely kept this still for that line. He's found me before, and his strength in the Force is very powerful. Yes, Soul is very powerful Jedi Master, very powerful in the Force. That's why he can't sense your sister is not you.
Well, I think when I wear a baseball cap, it makes me look older. So I took it off because I still have all my hair. Most people don't have their hair at my age. I am getting a bit patchy on the top.
Remember, Lance, Soul is very powerful in the Force.
He found me before, and his strength in the Force is very powerful. Sure so again, his strength in the Force is very powerful. He would have detected that this was not Oshi or Osha or whatever her name is.
I admit, Lance, I was 5 o'clock in the morning, and I actually busted out laughing at this scene.
Right, so this pose here, this is hamster ninja pose. It's like that's him doing the crane technique.
I thought he was humping her leg. I swear to God, I had to rewatch it 10 times.
Yeah, it's hamster horny.
He grabs her, just starts gyrating. I'm like, yes, finally get her. And yeah, he actually stomps her. He stomps her foot. She's like, and then of course we get the poor Pip Boy here. He can't contain himself, Lance. He's squirts in her eye.
that was funny. It would have been funnier if it was a poo.
We've all been there. It's hard to last.
The Pip Boy thing's good. I mean, that whole scene was kind of just a bit sort of nonsensical. Really, I mean, it was you could played for comedy, but
it's like we could do an hour stream just on this scene alone. I mean, you're a 4-foot gerbil creature. You're attacking somebody who has legit killed Jedi Masters, and your offense is to step on her foot.
Yeah, this is again. This is not the skillful May combatant that we've seen at the beginning. Again, it's it's nonsense.
Yeah, but just he squirts her in the eye. I was like, I that's it. I'm done. This is a sitcom at this point, Lance.
YouTuber trying to. I've got every time I do my Outcasts intro. By the way, it gets flagged by a third party. Do you know when they try and claim your shit because of this music track that Gary used which is in public domain, which I actually have the copyright thing for. So I always have to go and do that thing where I've got to copy and paste it. And
people can crap on AI. That's why all my intros now I've used an AI to make. These are my music, my own copyright stuff. You guys can mess with stuff.
I know, right? It's you know what? Everybody's
stupid. Yeah.
So.
Well, I had that problem myself, Lance. A couple of my playlists, my laser reviews and losers lounges, I was using public domain videos or music, and they still were flagging me. And I'm like, it says it came right from YouTube Studio. Like, use this music, and you're still flagging me for using the music that you approved. Like,
yeah, it's utter bollocks. Let me just. I'm just gonna dispute this. Just give me a second. I'm just copying it.
May grabs a little Pip-Boy friend, and she actually says the term. I'm gonna reset him to factory settings, because in Star Wars terms like factory settings are used often. Joke,
yeah.
right?
Well, I mean,
when have you ever heard in Lance the 40 years of Star Wars any character ever say the term factory settings?
Yeah, I mean, because like R2 gets turned off all the time, but he doesn't like. That's not a factory setting scenario, is it?
God almighty.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a factory setting scenario. So just had to point out that my Axel F review is not for children. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. Done with that.
What if I reset you? So she uses the new memory wipe Pip-Boy to check out the power. And look, yet again, Lance, we're seeing this shot, these rocks again.
Yeah, I'm not buying that whole angle thing. It's not really.
Yeah.
They might be real. It could be a real location.
But I mean, I guess they finally ran out of budget, so they're just gonna keep showing the same exact scene from different angles all through the episode. This is the 5th time we've seen this.
I mean, that's a nice shot, but like,
oh yeah,
I would have liked to have seen them actually walk around this thing at low tide to get to the ship. And we've got
again
the rock turds.
So
the baby rock turd.
Half this episode is just the same beach being shot over and over again from different angles with little CGI lizards. Like, but yeah, so we have the scene between OSHA and bad guy. I forgot his name already.
God, forgot his name.
Batty McSithbad.
Yeah. What do you mean by strength in the Force?
Well, yes.
So you can go the Jedi way, or you can go
we're back into the whole the Jedi been lying, and he just tries to stay into the whole like she's like the Force must be used like a muscle. It keeps training it.
What I don't understand, right, is when they're trying to seduce people into the dark side of the Force. Why do you always say it's the dark side, it's the Sith, why don't you just say there's the Jedi way, which is like monks and boring, and then there's my way, which is more fun and you can do more things. You don't have to always kind of label it as evil. The idea is that somebody gets drawn down that road gradually. You know, it's like people that like corrupt policemen. You know, they break a small rule, and then they break another rule, then they steal some money and a drugs bust or whatever, and you know, the next thing they know, they're corrupt. But it doesn't always happen like overnight. I would like to have seen this seduction be really gradual. I would like to have, because that's all nonsense, because she has seen him kill like 6 people, one of whom she fancied. You know, there's no way around him saying, oh, so instead he goes with the whole line of, well, what were those people worth to you? What did you think was going to happen? All of that stuff. I just don't buy any of that, because she's had a life where she hasn't had to kill or murder people.
Yeah.
She hasn't had a vengeance thing going on. Yeah, it was rubbish. Tim, let me know if you want to come on, mate. Or Dan, if you want to come on. Atom or Dan or
that's because I'm watching it now. It's the whole like, well, you killed them. Okay. Well, I had to. Why? Because they were Jedi. They were going to kill me. Actually, no, they were all, well, they were there to apprehend you, but they weren't there to kill you. It's like,
well, it wasn't a hit squad.
No, exactly.
You know, it wasn't a hit squad.
Yeah, he gives it a whole like, well, it's the Jedi way. Yeah, her exact words. That's the path. That's the path to the dark side. He says, semantics. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Great dialogue.
Semantics. Yeah.
Mi casa, you casa, tomato.
I mean, it's just bollocks, isn't it?
Yeah, he goes, yeah, you killed my friend. I killed Jedi.
Like a dialogue scene like this in House of Dragon between these two characters would have been like deliciously entertaining and tense, and there would have been loads going on, and also, you know, there would have been like layers, and but this is just also you can hear it in the writer's room. Oh, that line sounds good. That line sounds good. Let's put that in.
I'm looking right now, Lance, in the captions when it says like it goes from oh shit, it just says stranger. So technically he doesn't even have a name yet. It just says right now in the own caption says stranger. You know, you killed Jackie, the little kid there. He's like, yeah. He said, stranger's like, where do you think that was gonna go? Like,
well,
he doesn't have a name yet. He's not a Darth or a Sith. He's just bad guy.
He's just Peni. Yeah, I just
okay. Anger, fear. Yet again, Lance, we get another beat shot because we're gonna keep using this beat.
Well, I mean, they've got basically there's two locations on this narrative. You're either in the cave or you're out the cave.
Exactly. This keeps showing it.
Yeah, we know he's a Sith, Leroy, because he says so. It's in the script. Oh my god!
Well, he doesn't.
Last night's episode was the best one. That's it, Leroy. You're banned. Mate, you cannot be serious. You cannot be serious. You're not telling me last night's episode is the best. Come on, man. Just, you can't be serious.
Yeah, but they have this whole like this tit for tat where like, why aren't you Jedi anymore? Because I failed. I couldn't be a Jedi. They kicked me out. Like, they didn't kick you out. You left.
Yeah. Right. Also, by the way, right, if this is like his secret hideaway, right?
Yeah.
That's a good point. What the fuck is up with that railing? Because this is not like a previous. This is not a colony. You know, this is a secret cave that he's created. It's kind of the equivalent of Yoda's hut in a swamp.
Yeah.
So presumably the idea is like not to be spotted by people and keep everything low key. I guess his spaceship's outside, so that's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it? But I don't know. Like, you know, why was this railing put here?
Look, what's the boy? That's so safety, and I guess it's gonna keep people off. I don't.
I mean, you could argue. I guess it's a pre-existing settlement or something along those lines.
Now there's the rocks yet again, Lance.
Yeah. So okay. So this rock here, right? There's supposed to be a decent sized gap between this one and that one, and in fact, there are 3 sections to it. But here it doesn't look like that at all. Now you could argue that that's the angle, but I don't buy that. The distance is wrong. This has got to be CG because it doesn't match up with the other shots.
Oh, my slides.
Space hoodie. Well, you're still going to need hoodies.
But the dialogue, he's trying to lure it to the dark side because the Jedi failed you and I failed. Okay. I failed. Now my lightsaber broke, Lance, but I have to ask you right here. This, I actually Google, Lance, what is the heat temperature of Star Wars lore for lightsaber? They can burn anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000 degrees hot.
I just don't buy this whole. Okay, why would she not kill him? What is she hoping to gain?
Yeah.
From you know, aside from he's giving it the whole seduction thing, but he hasn't said. Good to see you, Daryl. He hasn't said one thing to her that would tip the balance between her wanting to kill him because he murdered a whole load of people in front of her, including someone she cared about, and him who she's not previously invested with, has no emotional attachments to. It's nonsense. You know, she would have killed him here.
Yeah. And it wouldn't have been hard either.
No, it would have been hard because at one point, isn't there like almost? There's one point when she has another opportunity. I think he puts it to his chest or something, doesn't he? Or I can't remember now.
Let's see.
It just feels rubbish.
He's just going through the whole like, oh shit, I'm like, you lost everything. I have no family either.
A good law breakdown on sabers. The consensus is they don't generate heat without contact. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I can buy that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's a weird thing. Like I tried reading up some lore with that as well. They don't generate heat, but like I just don't. It's right, but it's right next to your face, and you don't feel any heat.
I mean, okay, let's put the heat thing aside. What reason has he given her to make her want to either A, join with him or train under him, or B, not kill him? There's nothing there. There's no there's nothing there. There's no reason.
Yeah.
He's mumbled a few words and he said a few things about, you weren't really attached to these people in here. So what about that person you cared about? What did you think you were going to do? Run off with her into the sunset? Well, yeah, but it's also like, oh, that's right. Yeah, she did give him a look when he was naked. That could be it. He showed her his junk. Chicks dig it. So,
yeah. Either way, it's just like, whatever the mythology, just at this point, Star Wars, I've just never seen anybody hold a lightsaber in history of this franchise that close to somebody's face without.
No, that's true.
I mean, it's right here, and you tell me like this. Yeah, okay, but all right. Back to Coruscant.
Okay, back to Coruscant, and stand by for more bad acting.
Yeah.
You get nauseous when you travel through hyperspace.
She said, I just find it, I don't get nauseous. I find it unsettling. Great dialogue.
She's just like, her acting is, I can't think of a main. Okay. No, he's better. The what's his name? Hayden Christensen in Attack of the Clones. I hate sand, it's coarse and all that. I mean, he was working with absolutely terrible dialogue in that film, but his acting isn't terrible. This lady with the green head, I'm trying to think if there's an actor who's done a worse performance in the Star Wars franchise than her.
Even listen to her delivery, Lance. Like,
nauseous when you travel through hyperspace.
I don't get sick. I find it unsettling.
There's just nothing going on.
I don't get sick. I find it unsettling.
Nothing going on. Who, Leroy? Who in Star Wars have you seen act worse than her? Who? Put your marker down. So,
I'll get sick. I find it unsettling.
I'm gonna show you some people in Star Wars that have got more character. Yeah, I find it unsettling. I find it unsettling when people cast their partners in roles that they're clearly not qualified to do. And they're taking that job away from another actor who, would have loved that opportunity to show their talent, their actual talent, when someone who's actually got talent in that department,
Well, sure, we get so basically just more and more wide shots, space shots, and more space shots, and this episode is like the wide shot episode, Lance.
This character has got more acting skill than the green-headed. There you go. So that's one person who's got more acting ability than.
More shots. We get back to the ship, Lance, and very powerful scene with May and Soul. How he asked a question that we've all been asking: How can I not have sensed the villain's true intentions? Yeah, we all wondered that too.
This is another character who has better acting range and a better narrative, and their dialogue is not even in English. There you go. So it's another one.
True. But yeah. Now, I guess so. At that point, when she goes check the cargo hold, that's when he hits her in the back with the stun gun, and because he was talking to the ferret.
Yeah.
There you see, because he comes up behind him again.
Yeah. Okay. The stun gun thing was. Yeah. Talking of Wanga. Also, better acting ability. It's another one.
Han Solo Wookiee.
Jar Jar Binks was terrible, but the character was more believable. I will say that. But I didn't like Jar Jar Binks either. I don't think anybody does like Jar Jar.
I mean, Salt does talk to her about the Pip boy, how he's like, you take care of him and you love him and how you are with him. I still feel like, he's just a machine. Like, he still didn't know she was May yet until this thing talked to him or whatever he did.
There's another one.
Well, yeah, come on.
Also a better character, better actor. And also bearing in mind we've had less time with Akbar than we have with whatever that character name is. So counselor, whatever.
More shots, Lance. That was another one. They're walking.
Yeah, this is when they arrive on the planet. I missed all this when I watched it the first time, and I got this. I watched this again this afternoon.
Yeah.
It's a trap. They go around and they examine the bodies.
Yeah, it's coming up. First, let's go back to her looking at the creepy helmet.
Okay, here's another one who's also green and has better acting ability and a narrative. There you go.
Well, yeah.
That's Femi Taylor. I've met her. We actually had the same agent at one point.
So Osha's asking him what he wants. He actually says the line, Lance, which I had to keep it. What do you want? I want the power of 2.
Yeah.
The power of 2, the power of many. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But how'd you get the scar on your back? Because chicks dig scars, and he even says she's like, it looks like someone stabbed you in the back, and it was a Jedi. What Jedi? Master Saul. But what's he do? He tells her about this helmet. It's like a sensory deprivation tank, or it's a headpiece. Okay. That's how you get your connection to the Force back, because the Jedis are lying to you. So the key to the Force is a sensory deprivation helmet. All right.
Okay.
And boy, they just had to lay the bodies out right there for everybody. Dear God. But I kept that scene right there, Lance. I'm not sure if you could tell, but because one of the Jedis, he did cut their head off, but it's hard to see, but it's because you only see that angle. But he did decapitate one of them. I felt like they kept it you never see the head right here, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, yeah, oh yeah. They examine the bodies, don't they? And one of the bodies has got the face is all weird, or was it was it a robot face? And they
this guy right here, maybe.
Yeah,
it could be that.
Yeah, he's got it's almost like he's a Terminator. Underneath there's metal and shit.
It's almost like that guy Clo Plune from the prequels. Same kind of makeup job, but yeah. So
okay, I have found somebody who maybe isn't as good as bald greenhead, and they only appear in the special edition of Return of the Jedi. So,
there you go.
No. Jabba Wonga.
He was here for the survivors, but yeah. So they figure out that I want to pull up freelance too. There was some powerful Jedi just killed all these people, And like, who could it be? And he asks her, he's like, well, do you think it's Master Saul? And that's a very...
Oh, this was the other thing as well. Yeah, now, instead of her having a lightsaber, she's got a lightsaber whip.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I don't buy that as a Jedi weapon. Like, it feels like that's not a weapon a Jedi would have. Because whips are for whipping people.
We did watch
and what are you going to use that for? Because if you lasso it round something, it's going to cut it in half. This character, by the way, is so better than the bald-headed green lady that they absolutely should have their own spin-off show. I've been saying it for ages. I want to see a Max Rebo show. So this is a show I want to watch. Plus, you've got Anus Mouth in the background here. Also, another character with a higher level of development.
It's like Plato said, the lightsaber came from the comics, which I don't get the whole practicality.
Well, comics are not.
But, oh, here we go.
They're not canon.
So she blows it to her, just showing how bad she is, Lance. Yay!
That's just nonsense.
Okay.
And do you know what? And that was just written in like, you're the partner of the creator of the show. Hey, babe, I'm going to give you something really. You're going to have a cool lightsaber that's different for everyone else. Why is that?
I'm just curious, especially from a dueling standpoint. Like, if you have a broadsword, someone has a whip. I don't see how whip's going to be the broadsword. And at some point, you're going to fight a whip. He whipping somebody while they got a fucking saber, and I guess we'll see. But
check this out. We've got to give those fighters more time. Concentrate all firepower on that superstar destroyer. Oh man, just makes you want to put this movie on, So.
Common's right. That saber comes out hard, then goes limp.
I've got a picture of me with that mask on next to a 6-foot superstar destroyer.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can see here. Doing the briefing. You can see here.
But I guess like the only positive thing is that they can't accept right now these characters that it could be a Sith, because remember, Sith for them had been extinct for 1,000 years, so they automatically assume it had to be Saul.
It says again, I was probably not paying attention. They were all killed by a lightsaber. What does that tell you? What did they say?
Well, he says it's a fallen Jedi.
Okay.
And then he asks her. He's like, you don't think it's Saul, do you? And she's like, well, that's a very big accusation, but they're not sure yet. But it's, I guess, like,
well, it's not going to be Saul because he called in and said my whole team's gone.
That's the first thing he asked her too. He's like, well, if he killed all these people, then why would he call it in? And she's like, I don't know, basically.
Yeah.
She says something to tip the scales, her exact dialogue. But yeah, but if he did this, why would he send us a distress signal?
I find this character more attractive.
Yeah. And she says it's prepare the bodies for burial, and then we're back to May. So
yeah, that's a good point that Leroy's made. He's pointed out another contradiction in the text. That's what a Sith really is, a fallen Jedi. So
well, yeah, but these characters, but the term Sith, they're not assuming it is a Sith, because Sith would be extinct to them at this point. That's the whole point of the prequels. The prequels were the return of Revenge of the Sith. But, and of course, Lance, see it right here. Look at that big tattoo right on her forehead that apparently everyone's been missing until right now.
Right.
Even though Soul was right in her face and hugging her, he didn't notice this big tattoo right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, dear.
Yeah, he gives her the whole speech that for 16 years I've been wanting to talk to you. Now you will listen to what I have to say. And we used to get basically back to OSHA. What does she do? She puts on the helmets. And just
I just sort of, that whole sequence to me was just like, what what's this got to do with the slice of cheese? And there was this whole breathing heavily thing, and it's just like,
well, the thing I don't get is, okay, so OSHA has not practiced the Force in over a decade, so she doesn't have access to it. And basically, so she's putting on the helmet from Stranger Bad Guy to access the Force again, which is going to do what?
Greetings, common people. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, so welcome to the Outcast Creative. Thank you for commenting. I really appreciate it.
Usually bothering Enzo.
There's another.
Comment's awesome.
Intensify the forward batteries. I don't want anything to get through. Intensify forward fire. Too late. Oh, huh? Did you just fart? What's going on?
Oh boy. Here we go, Lance. The epic acting we have here. Dun dun dun.
I like the way the wig moved. Did you see that?
Yeah.
When she put it on, the wig moved.
Dun dun.
And it's funny when they cut to that, it just looks dumb on her with her tiny body and whatnot. What am I supposed to do with the blast shield down? I can't see anything. Oh man, there's 2 episodes left, right?
Yes, hold on. Try to pull this up again for you.
Oh, I hope this doesn't get a second season.
So when the wig moves,
don't spend money on this.
wait for it.
Oh, YouTube released my claim. Yeah, I'm watching.
Ready for Just pausing the frame for seeing the wig shift, but okay.
Yeah.
And that's the end of this episode, which is, let's see, what's it officially called again? It's called Teach/Corrupt. So
yeah, I know it. It's like that. Yeah, okay. Billboard it. While one's being taught something good, the other one's slowly being corrupted.
I get it.
We get it. Yeah, I mean, you could have called it Switch, which would have been, kind of more inventive. Oh, this show is bollocks, isn't it? This show's just bollocks.
Well, it's like it said, to its credit, last week's episode, while it had problems, at least they had some pretty good choreography. Now,
there was some.
I'll give that.
There were some nice fights,
but this is
there was some good choreography. There was some, I like the lightsaber chopping down the 3 trees, and I like the guy being pulled onto the lightsaber was a pretty cool move, and that we hadn't seen before.
Well, it's like someone said in the chat about like the whips. Like I know, like sometimes I watch a YouTube video. They would show stuff like what the extended universe, like Luke Skywalker. At one point, Luke was like stopping a black hole with the Force, and it starts getting ridiculous. Where they cloned Luke, and they made Duke from Luke's severed hand that Vader cut off, and Empire Strikes Back. Like even the books and comics could get kind of ridiculous. So it does happen sometimes. Someone's like, "Well, the comics did in the book." I'm like, I didn't read all of the EU, but the EU started getting kind of weird too.
Acolyte, a Max Ballistock production. Adrian's up late or early. Don't know what time is it in Australia now, mate? I should give Matt a call. Yeah, man. Well,
yeah, it's one thing. Sometimes a comic seeing something in a comic or cartoon, the whip in live action, something just looked weird. If that happened in the prequels, it's just having a whip saber. I just
if that was an evil, if that was a Sith using that and they modified it to do that kind of shit, I'd buy that. Yeah. I'd buy that. But like one of the sort of Jedi Order using, come on now.
Yeah.
What do you do with that in your spare time? What's going on there?
Watch him telling Toxic. He's like comparing the EU. I'm just saying, dude, at some point, even the EU, you have to have some level of like grounded. Like the Jedis are powerful, but they're not gods. When like for Luke can like pick up a planet with the Force at one point. Like, dude, all right, man. Like he's powerful, but like he's not some omni being either.
No. I'm okay. Let's go and have a look and see what people are saying on
Oh boy.
So the current score. Okay, because the score for the Acolyte last week was It's now got 1,600 reviews plus.
Okay.
Right?
Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb?
I think the score for the Acolyte last week was around 4 something.
Let's see.
But on IMDb now, so I've got it ready. It is currently at 3.5. As you can see, I haven't rated it yet because I was waiting till the end of the show. But let's have a look at some of the reviews. Painful. How can it be this bad? Take one of the most exciting and expansive fictional universes with iconic characters and storylines and then just tear it up without respecting any of its original mythos, lore, etc. And yeah, it's sad because I'm sure a lot of talented professionals worked on this. I'm sure they did. Tragically, the writing and acting is truly terrible. Special effects are great, but that's not enough to compensate for all its other flaws. I would agree. This is laughably bad writing and direction. Who in the hell read these scripts and said, yeah, these are great, definitely don't need to rewrite the entire thing? This is insulting. I would agree. Jar Jar Binks was a museum masterpiece next to this. Misa no like the doo-doo. I mean, seriously, what were they thinking? Have they ever watched what they produced? Complete garbage, 1 out of 10. Tried to give this a chance, but after 3 episodes, I'm done. Absolute hot garbage. Garbage. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I can tell whoever created this has no respect for the Star Wars universe. In the interest of fairness, I'm reading out some of the... It's really not as bad as people are making out. I get why folk are hating on this show, but I really believe it's not as bad as reviews are making out to be. We are 3 episodes in, and I still believe it has lots of potential to be great. Good luck with that. An excellent new Star Wars show. Right, hang on. Also, let's just check these. Oh, look at that. They've only ever done 1 review before. What a surprise. Let's check this one. This one's done a couple of things. So this, well, they've done 5. And these are all good except for the Justice League, which they've said tanked. So I guess that this person could be real. I made an account just to rate this junk. Did any of the producers, directors actually even watch the original trilogy? What happened to the 180 million it cost to film season 1 of The Acolyte? Good question. We did talk about that. Roger Corman could have made both of these episodes in the 80s for less than $100,000. He could have done. 1 out of 10, cultural vandalism. I've never left a 1-star review for anything before. I always think the writing and production are never bad enough to be 1 star. This series completely warrants a 1 star. The writing is awful, wooden dialogue, boring characters, and so far a terrible plot. The whole production just looks naff. And again, like they say, I'm open to change and new concepts. So am I. Absolutely. Absolutely. A solid entry into the franchise. Oh, look, they've only ever done 1 review. The Power of One. 1 out of 10. So far, the most disappointing Star Wars series ever. Teenage soap opera in space. 6 out of 10. Yeah. I feel this is a Jedi story written for the 16 to 25 age group. Mate, I wouldn't go that high. Probably more like the kind of 8 to 16 range, I would say. The evil twin thing done to death.
Sure.
Yeah, they give it some points for fight choreography. 4 out of 10 feels like something a teen would come up with. 2 out of 10, high production value, but cringe and horrible dialogue. 4 out of 10. Who is this for? I'm just baffled at who this series is aimed at. I get the reinvention is a good thing, but the conflicting and contradictory nature of so much of this show seems almost designed to annoy people that like Star Wars. It's funny they say that because, I mean, the people that made this show hinted that they get off on that fact. The worst Star Wars project since Holiday Special. Oh, I don't know. I think Holiday Special is better. Poorly written, poorly acted, poorly edited, poorly paced. The entire show appears to be little more than a vanity project full of self-inserts rather than real characters. yeah, like people's partners. Star Wars fans hate Star Wars. Let's just call it what it is. So I'm reading this one because this is 10 out of 10. There's never, ever been a new Star Wars property that wasn't roundly mocked and hated by the vocal minority. That's not true. That are Star Wars fans. They'll say things like George's vision, yet forget that the prequels were so hated that 5 years after, a documentary was released called The People versus George Lucas. Well, watch the prequels now. They're still shit, but they're fucking gold compared to this. So that this argument has no merit. Hey, look, they've reviewed some other things, and they're all good reviews. So, hey, I work for the studio. You know, another Disney ruined franchise. Missed opportunity. Awesome show, 9 out of 10. The show is great. I've been watching Star Wars since the 80s. My real life friends who have also been watching Star Wars since then love it as well. The review bombing is insane. Entertaining, spelled incorrectly. Fun and cool fight scenes. Everything you'd expect from Star Wars. We have Jedi. We have them trying to solve a mystery and bring order in the galaxy. We have mysterious villains. We have interesting aliens. What the fuck? Have they even watched this show? The haters probably haven't even watched it. Yeah, 2 reviews. And the other one for the Watchman says it's amazing. This is laughably bad. Somebody else said. I mean, we could read these out all night. And let's do that. any fan could do better. Agenda-filled mess. Disney fail again. I know Kung Fu. Sorry, but what? It's not as bad as the other reviews. I'm not sure why it's getting such a below average rating. Okay. The final nail in the coffin. Great fans. Great action. Fans are so toxic. Do you know what? I think it's toxic to call someone toxic, personally. So, warning. I started watching this with the hope of being entertained. I was disappointed when the Jedi said to a complete stranger, "Yes, my child." I knew the writing was going to be bad. Pathetic writing, not worth your time. The writing is beyond terrible. Enjoying it so far? Why the hate? I mean, the last Avatar film was unwatchable, and people reviewed that better. I'm wondering why the hatred. And they've only done 1 review, so that's also probably fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of fake reviews on here. Most of them are the good ones. So, have the writers. Yeah, it's goodbye Star Wars, goodbye Disney. Star Wars continues to disappoint. The end is near. Isn't that a song by Frank Sinatra? Sad to see that it's horrible. Missed opportunity. Really, anyone rating this excrement over 1 is AI. That's funny. Ignore the snooty reviews. The Jedi are well represented in this take on the Star Wars saga. The opening scene is killer. No pun intended. I've watched up until episode 5, which was flipping amazing. Classic Jedi lightsaber joy with some very new twists that keep you on the edge of your seat. I really don't understand the negativity some other viewers are posting. This is very good. Maybe they need the same content from 1984 to enjoy this. I'm a child of the 70s, and I love the new stuff. Very well done. A defo much watch. Yeah. The dark side is and will always be with the Star Wars and the saga. The Acolyte has it all. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest. You're never going to get like
a genuine review because they've done quite a few. So, okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
I mean,
well, hey, look, if you like it, man.
I mean, it's impossible to get 100% negative. What's at one point 15%? So it means 15% of people did like it.
Reading this list is the best part of the stream. Oh, I know that I can call you toxic.
Definitely.
So, yeah, don't get beefy, chat.
Yeah.
And
So,
Leroy and Desert, you're both ex servicemen, guys. So be nice to each other, please, because you've both served. Both of you guys have served. I bet you get on. You probably get on in a bar. If we all went out for a drink, you two would probably get on because I've met you both. So,
well, I always feel like, Lance, people who like defend bad movies, if you like a bad movie, at least if you have a strong defense for it. But when it comes to this show, it's like, I don't see what can be defended. I mean, because I'm all for defending stupid, cheesy stuff. Like, come on, you were watching, remember, like the previews for like La Valantula and like all those horrible YouTube movies.
yeah.
It was
I
Mummy
think,
Shark.
yeah, I think there's an argument that some people can advance that it's like we had what's his name come on, didn't we? We had I forget his name now. He's got a channel. He came on, and he said, I don't mind it. It's entertaining. I don't have to think too much about it. It's Star Wars, and I just whack it on and have a beer, and that's fine. And it may be that's what all that Leroy wants from it, and that's fine. But it just could be so much better with not a lot of effort. That's what annoys me. This is bottom of the barrel stuff on so many levels, and people are right to say that it's disappointing for so many people that worked on it.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's like
spent so much work on it, because a lot of people have worked very hard on this show. I'm curious to look at a review here, but
yeah, and if people know me, I usually give like dumb action films a pass. Like I said, I'll defend Transformers and Fast and Furious because I know what they are. But when you think about like Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Count Dooku, Palpatine, and what they're capable of, and I know May's not a Sith Lord yet, but May has killed Jedi Masters, and I can never imagine any scenario where like Darth Maul or like Dooku would have a 4-foot gerbil attacking them and hurting them. It's just like, come on, man.
So I picked this review from ABC Entertainment. I don't know if it's actually connected to ABC, the channel. Is this ABC? Is this the actual ABC? The main TV thing?
It says ABC Entertainment.
The reason I picked this was because I haven't read this review, but I just thought this review will be good because ABC is a main TV network, and they've all got their fingers in each other's pockets, and somebody will have been paid to do a good review for this. And so if you skim read it, if we just go to the end, while I'm really digging the direction this show is taking through the first 4 episodes, there's reason to fear how this will tie into the main franchise plot eventually. The 3rd episode plants seeds for the Acolyte to serve as the direct precursor to the movies. But if that's going to happen, it will be later on in the episodes I haven't seen yet. It could end up ruining the Acolyte if it does happen. It definitely could, yes. But the first 4 episodes are strong enough that I actually believe Headland and Co. might make it work regardless. That's just a load of crap. Sorry. The first 4 episodes are strong. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that on YouTube anymore, am I? Fujing.
Well, on top of it, if this is going to lead into the prequels, how? So far right now, there's nothing, and we still haven't seen the flashback yet. Which 2 more episodes to go? What killed May and Osha's mothers, and the whole Covenant? So who was it? The stranger? Who is the stranger? What's it? How is this going to lead into the Phantom Menace?
Right. So this one. I don't know who discussing film are. Again, I don't know these people. This one was reviewed on the 4th of June, but I guess they must have seen. Rest assured, The Acolyte is perhaps the easiest Star Wars series to watch without any prior knowledge. Yeah, maybe, but I mean, regardless of one's opinion of the sequel trilogy, it's indisputable how unmatched the visual quality of those films is in comparison to many blockbusters released of late. The Visuals the series possesses are truly no joke. Yeah, it's got some good visuals. The Acolyte has all the ingredients to be a standout from Lucasfilm's Disney Plus original, but what really pushes it over the edge to become a great piece of Star Wars media is the character writing and performances behind them. You've been paid off. Piss off. You cannot write that and be serious. I honestly just think this is horseshit. Who are these people? Right, is there anybody that you actually know here who's independent, as far as you know? Because I don't know these people.
Yeah,
I've picked things that sound like they're big names, but do you know any of these? Keith Loves Movies. Who's that? It's probably, he's got to have a YouTube channel, right? Early review, 4.5 stars. So he loves it, clearly. What's this? Is this the Circle of Truth? Okay, 87%. Ultimately, the series rests on the shoulders of Amanda Stenberg and Lee Jung-ji. I mean, that's not untrue. Osha is flawed but relatable. Unlike May, she still has her humanity. Well, that's not true, because May also has her humanity. It's just different. Not sure it's funny, isn't it? It's just like everybody's just saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this one. Oh, right. This is a YouTuber. And it's German, I think.
Huh. On top of, this episode, Lance doesn't really have much narrative because there's so many wide shots and so many recycling the same beach shots. And like you said, it's either the ship, beach, the entire episode, 2 shots of Coruscant. But like, what really happens in this episode besides, okay, Sol understands the fact that now it's not Osha, it's May. And
yeah.
The stranger's trying to seduce Ocean to the dark side, and that's the entire half-hour plot.
Yeah.
Like, what's moving forward? What's going on right now? Okay, yeah. May's a stowaway. Okay, and now the Jedi think that Sol killed a bunch of Jedis.
Yeah. Right. I haven't been keeping an eye on the chat, but everybody's it's getting a bit heated.
Passionate.
So I did read that out. I did read that out. Reading that list is strange. Guys, I told you already to stop being so testy, and I did say.
I definitely think that compared to other, but by far, I mean, come on, we know Critical Drinker. He's put his reviews out, Jeremy Johns, but there's 10,000 other guys on YouTube. I've seen some other videos that, like, in comparison, you and me we are universes more kind than other people on YouTube are being.
Do you know what, by the way, I absolutely loved that Wonderful World of Disney. Do you remember the little movies that they used to have? Because the Wonderful World of Disney used to be like, you'd get like a cartoon, and then you'd get maybe another cartoon. So that sometimes there'd be 1 or 2 cartoons, and then they'd show those kind of mini feature films that were all like made in house. This was like the original internal, like the one with Kurt Russell when he was a kid. And there were 2 with the same character, and I don't know if anyone in chat remembers this one, but one of them was about this kid who was quite a well-known Disney child actor. I can't remember his name now, but he there was a competition in the town to become mayor, and he knew that these bank robbers were going to do this bad deed, so he had to become mayor in order to stop them. And he had this really cool like basement with all these gadgets and shit in it. And the ending of it was a 2-parter, and the ending ended up with these kids all like rolling. One of his kids became Minister of Works because the competition was all the kids got to do all the jobs, running the town for the day. It was like that whichever kid became mayor could then elect all the other kids to do all the other jobs. One of them took over Minister of Works, and they're like rolling these tires down this hill to like stop these robbers from getting away. I don't know if that's ringing any bells with anybody. Their stuff that they used to put on was was good fun. The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes is the one with Kurt Russell. Do you remember the one I'm talking about, Adrian? I can't remember the name of the character, but he appeared in more than one episode. I'm just throwing this in because it's more interesting than talking about the Acolyte. Oh, I think I'm due to be on Jacob Ironside or one of those guys' channel soon.
Okay.
I mean, I don't worry. I'm not in a rush. They're going to be streaming for a couple of hours, so I can be late.
And our buddy Gooch is doing Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah. Do you guys remember the one as well where there was another one with kids, and I can't remember if it's the same group of kids. It might have been, and they saw a monster going down the river at night, and it wasn't a monster, it was a boat with a lantern on it, and it was these robbers that were up to no good. They were like smugglers or something, and then the kids built their own monster boat that they could pedal, and it was like a dinosaur, that was another two-parter. I can't remember the name of it, but let me just dash to the bathroom real quick, man. You can interact with the chat. Do you want me to put a screen up?
Whatever you want to do.
Let me,
let's see. Well, Star Wars The Acolyte, only 2 more episodes to go, and everybody gets to breathe a heavy sigh of relief. And Adam Gray's in the chat, and Leroy and Desert Phoenix. And yes, we all do miss the old Disney mini movies. When it's what sucks really is that Star Wars for a lot of people is that they're mad because this has so much potential. You could have good choreography, you could have good special effects, you could have good dialogue. They have 40 years of this IP, but as people keep saying, they're just hiring the wrong people, and it sucks because there's room there to lead us into the prequels. I mean, because the whole thing with Palpatine and Anakin, Palpatine did say that he killed his master, Darth Plagueis the Wise, and you could add a prequel or origin story leading into that. But on top of, like people said, we have 2 episodes to go. Yoda, technically speaking, would be alive right now in this time in the universe, but who knows if we'll see him and what they plan on doing. And it's funny, as we talked about this a couple weeks ago with that guy Star Wars Theory was breaking down like on the live Wikipedia how the character from the prequels, he shouldn't be part of this continuity. Next he pops up, and like the issue for a lot of people is that I can understand some people get like, well, it's a stupid show, don't take it too seriously, but it has lore, it has canon. It's no different than a comic book or a book or anything out there. People are so pissed off that you writers, you guys have fans, legit fans who read this stuff. There's people out there who breathe the Star Wars comics. They read the EU books. People out there know their mythology, and you're hiring people, producers and writers who have no idea about the lore whatsoever. Not knowing the lore, that makes fans upset. And there was a time where these writers would actually read the lore. They do their homework. There's pictures of like Benedict Cumberbatch. He had like stacks of Doctor Strange comics. Robert Downey was reading Iron Man comic books. Like a lot of these actors were comic book fans. I mean, Ben Affleck.
I don't think it's of itself, it's not the worst thing. Taking on a you can take on a writer who's never seen any Star Wars whatsoever. But they just need to be a good writer. They just need to understand character beats and narrative and dialogue. I bet some of the writers that write the dialogue for House of the Dragon have probably never read a Game of Thrones book. In fact, some of them have probably never read the book or the appendix or whatever it is upon which House of Dragon is based. But I'll tell you one thing, I bet they've read a lot of Shakespeare, and I bet they've written a lot of other good scripts. And then you probably also you need somebody in the team who is your lore person, who is your historical person, who will say that character can't say that because that would conflict with this. So they need another way to say that. That's their job, you know, in the writer's room when you've got lore that you don't want to conflict.
Yeah.
And so.
And like you were saying, like, you know, to have one person in the room, there's fans, especially like there's still people out there where I'm a Disney fan, I'm a Star Wars fan. You could probably pay somebody out there like $50 would consult your entire TV show for you and just be proud of it and telling their friends on Twitter, like, hey, I was with Disney and I was a consultant for the Acolyte TV show. Some people would do it for free, you know. They probably pay you guys to hop into that writer's room.
Well, I mean, the thing is that these people, I don't know how much the writers are being paid, but obviously in you know, LA and Hollywood, there are minimum set fees for shows like this, so they're not getting paid peanuts. They're getting paid you know, a decent amount of money, and rightly so, but you know, you'd expect the people that are given these jobs to be of a high standard. I'm not entirely sure that we can blame the writing team entirely, because this whole show, in my head, I think has just been extremely poorly managed. There's no quality control on it, and I think there is a lot of nepotism. If you're going to put somebody, if you're going to do someone a favor, nudge nudge, wink wink, I've got a job for you on this show, mate, whether it's a friend of yours, whether it's your cousin, whether it's your sister, or if it's your wife or your husband, that person better be at the top of their game, because you don't want that person showing you up having given that person a job, a significant job. Oh, there's new people popping up here. Good Karma Games, thank you for popping in. We're coming towards the end now.
Yeah. Well, it's like you're saying, Lance. The thing is, you don't have to be the biggest fan of an IP, of a franchise, but like, not to go on a tangent, but Obi-Wan and Vader, even if you aren't the biggest Star Wars fan, when you watch episode 4, it's the indication that they haven't seen each other in a very long time. When I was watching Kenobi, because I just had to see how bad it was going to be, the part people on TikTok would say, oh, it's so awesome when you hear Hayden, when the helmet's cut off and you hear half Hayden, half James Earl Jones' voice. But that scene is beyond stupid, because Obi-Wan's got him defeated. What sense, what, like, you know, justification would Obi-Wan have to let Vader live? That makes no sense whatsoever. You know, because if Vader goes on to kill billions of people, like, but he's got him dead to rights, and just Obi-Wan walks away. That's why the meeting was beyond stupid. But like, why? It's like, at this point, Vader has killed how many people? Obi-Wan's got him on the ground. He's about to die. And I'm just gonna walk away. No. Come on.
Hey, buddy. No, I may well have that be entirely my fault. If you didn't get a Facebook message. But you're welcome to pop on if you want to pop on. If you want to come on quickly and just give us your thoughts, I'm quite happy to have you on. Drop me a message on Facebook now, mate, and we'll stay on a bit longer. We've got 20 people watching at the minute. That's quite nice, isn't it? So, by the way, we now have a new moderator in the chat. So, for those people watching.
But even this episode, as you said, you know, you have Osha. She just watched The Stranger, the previous episode, killing kids, like, well, you know, because the Jackie was like 12 or 13, killing the other guy there, the light skinned dude, by breaking his neck. But you just watch this guy kill a whole bunch of innocent Jedis. You have him dead to rights right there, and then you let him live. Like,
that doesn't you know. So
I mean, it's one thing if he's overpowering her, I can understand that. But the fact is, she had a lightsaber directly to his neck, and right there, it should be over. It's simple. You just watch this dude kill how many people?
Yeah.
Come on.
I got what you meant. By the way, Good Karma, we had to go later tonight, so you might not have been able to make it anyway, because I did a review of what did I do a review of again? Earlier today. Oh yes, Axel F. We did Beverly Hills Cop, and then I also did a gaming stream, so we went a bit later today. All right, so guys, let's rate it out of 10.
Oh boy.
I'll give 1 point for the director of photography. The visuals are very nice. 1 for visual effects. I'll give 1 for some of the acting, mainly the Pip Boy and the hamster and Soul. And the Jedi that comes into the council meeting, he's okay. Nothing for the writing. Minus 3 for the writing. Minus 2 for some of the other acting, so that's 5 off. And it's just terrible. 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 from me for this episode. 3 out of 10, and that's high. Should be rating it lower, really. So 3 out of 10. Has anybody else seen this episode? If you have, give it a rating now. Darren Johnston, I won't watch any Disney Star Wars crap. I just burn everything.
I'm with you, Lance. The actor who plays Soul, even in this episode, the little scenes he got, he is not the problem. The guy playing Soul, I think he's a legit good actor. He's like I said, it's like when Hayden, people look back at Hayden like at the time, oh God, he's a bad actor. No, he had some bad dialogue. The guy playing Soul, for the material he's given, the guy is trying his ass off to play this character, man.
Yeah. So guys, in case you don't know, because there's 21 people watching, and I'm guessing there's going to be some people watching who haven't tuned into my channel before, I interview a lot of people in the industry, and I've got 2 great interviews coming up this month alone. There should be 3, but 2 of them now have confirmation dates, and they're both in the same week. So hold on, I think I've got a here we go. Let me just amend this. Oh no. So we got Band of Brothers coming up on Sunday. Sorry, what was your rating out of 10, Blue? Did I let you do that?
I'll say 2. I'll say 2. I mean, okay. I'll be generous. Like, and people,
Dang, Andy, I know you haven't seen it, man. So I'm giving it 10 out of 10.
The thing is, like you say, Lance, I don't spend time with you talking about this, watching this stuff, making stills. It does cost me time. I don't hate the show. It's just more like I see all these missed opportunities. But like some people hate this. I'm not hate watching the show with you. Like I want every episode to be good. I'm not finding it. Like what's going on, guys? And I'm not seeing this $200 million budget. Where you have little CGI little creatures like this, and that's it. There's no special effects in this episode. No big lightsaber battles. You have just a beach Coruscant. That's $200 million. Come on.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So, guys, the first interview that's coming up is on July the 15th. I think the time will probably be around 9 p.m. UK. This is not a passive aggressive review. This is we're both just saying it's crap. Let's be clear about that. It's not good. It's not good script writing. It's terrible writing.
We said last week, Lance. I said last episode 5.
We would like it. Yeah, absolutely.
The choreography, it was good choreography. I won't debate that.
No, indeed. So I'm going to have the honor and the pleasure of interviewing. Now, her name is pronounced because she watched one of my interviews and she corrected me. She messaged me and said, my name is pronounced Malorna. So it's Malorna Jackson, not Maluna. I've been pronouncing her name wrong. Here she is here with Philip Winchester from Law and Order in Strike Back. And she's been in How to Get Away with Murder. She's got a great role in a film coming out called 666. But she's been in Chicago PD, which is the first thing I noticed her in, and a ton of other television shows. So she's coming on the channel on July 15th, I think. I think it'll be about 9 p.m. UK. I've got to confirm the time with her, so we'll lock that down between now and then. This is her on with Benito Martinez, who I absolutely love, on How to Get Away with Murder. So yeah, she's going to be a fantastic guest. And then just a couple of days later, on July 17th, I have got another fantastic guest. Guys, you're going to be, everybody in chat now, I guarantee you will have seen at least one of his movies. I have director, producer, writer Charles Band coming on. This is the guy who made the Puppet Master films. This is the guy who made Trancers, Ghoulies, TerrorVision, Robojocks, a whole load of those sci-fi films that you guys rented like me in the 1980s and early 1990s. He's still knocking stuff out now. He did all the Demonic Toy films. There is he has literally produced I think it's like 476 movies. Evil Bong 3, The Wrath of Bong. I definitely need to watch that. And I mean, a lot of them are not the best films on the planet, but this is a Roger Corman entrepreneur, and he has actually, I always knew if I got a movie out of his in the 80s, I always knew it was going to be interesting at the very least. And he did make some stuff that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the first couple of Trancers movies. Puppet Master was fun. Mandroid, I remember that as well. He did a great movie called The Eliminators. Doll Man was fun. So yeah, this guy's CV is absolutely ginormous. All the Tim Thomerson movies, indeed. He was an executive producer on Prison. That's a great film. Ghost Town is a great film. Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity. Well, I mean, it's a film. But yeah, he's done some stuff. I loved The Eliminators. I don't know if people remember this one. You may remember this poster in video shops in the 1980s. It was a great movie. So yeah, he's coming on in July. You got anything you want to plug before we go, mate, and I jump on another channel and talk about this again?
Jesus. Honestly, well, we did our Tuesday rewatch for Team America. This Tuesday we're doing Independence Day and Nielsen ratings with you, Band of Brothers. Actually, yeah, Jesus. With you, I'm doing House of the Dragon, Acolyte, and Band of Brothers.
Yeah. So thanks to everybody in the chat. There's more people on than usual. Please do like and subscribe to the channel if it's your first time popping in here. Check out my industry interviews. I've got Gail Ann Hurd, producer of Terminator, on there on the Ron Underwood interview. Ron Underwood directed Tremors. I've got 3 of the top Hollywood stunt coordinators on my channel, all been interviewed. There's loads of other actors, all kinds of stuff on there. So yeah, do check it out, guys. Thanks to my mods in the chat. I appreciate that people have different views. The movie that I was quoting earlier on my gaming stream was The Wild Geese, and I do appreciate that people have different reviews and different views on these things. And I you can have opposing views, guys, without falling out.
Yeah.
Just don't get testy with each other, okay? So, and yeah, Leroy, everyone's got an opinion. So, and you got to own your own opinion, but that doesn't make other people right or wrong. So yeah, so thanks guys. Adrian, you're now a moderator. Basically, I don't allow politics or any racism or bad language in the chat. Is somebody getting kicked out immediately? Politics, they get a warning, and basically people should just keep it polite at all times. People will get testy. I don't kick people out for getting testy, but sometimes I have to warn people to, be quiet. So these were the fun times when there's 20 people in the chat and it's all like fairly friendly. These are the fun times. So guys, that's it. Don't forget, Band of Brothers on Sunday. We're doing episode 9. We might have a member of the cast of Band of Brothers joining us. I'm almost certain we're going to have one on the episode 10, which is also the day of my channel's 2-year anniversary. There's going to be a couple of other streams earlier in the day. I'll tell you more about those nearer the time. That's it from us. So thanks for tuning in to this gut reaction review. Far longer than normally. Gut reaction reviews are 20 minutes, but if I'm on with Blue Collar, then they're 141 minutes.
Yep.
So
2 more to go. 2 more.
They're a lot longer. All right. So I'm actually jumping on another channel now. I'm going on. I think it might be Roman of Empire. It might be Roman of Empire. Jacob Ironside. I forget which channel it is. But I'm going to do that right now. So that's us gone. See you soon.